Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Ian Harding about Long Slow Exhale, premiering April 4th on Spectrum. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I mean, there's a lot at surface here with this show, Ian. Like it's packed, and we don't waste any time, I feel like, with this show. So do you notice that when you're kind of reading the script for this, like how we just go 0 to 100 like right away with the show?
Yeah. No, we don't beat about the bush, which is a phrase that I don't know if that actually is appropriate for here, but it was great to read and sort of see, again, like being very lucky, because with most TV shows, maybe you get like the first couple, like 2 or 3 scripts before when you start shooting. But this, I was able to see like 1 through 11, and it was 12 episodes, and so I was able to get a bit of an arc and an understanding. And then, and I guess there was part of me that was like, I would read something down the line, I'm like, oh, okay, I know that's going to happen. I'll prepare for that at the time and whatnot. And then once you start shooting it, it's just, it got to me. So I think what is, an emotional journey for an actor makes for great television for a viewer. So
100%. No, I see that. It's interesting as well, because I feel like we have a little bit of a tale of two shows here. In one regard, it's both basketball, both sports. You look at the other side of things, it's not about sports at all. It's about life. There's sometimes I'm watching the show where I kind of forget that it's about a basketball team because I'm just focused on the other things. What do you think about that dynamic? I feel like it becomes kind of a complex aspect of TV where it's a tale of two shows a little bit.
Yeah, well, Anton and Pam were both like, look, when they were sort of developing and putting everything together, they were like, you can go watch a basketball game at any point. Like, that is merely sort of the backdrop, and we want to get inside. We want to make sure that the viewer feels like they are on the court, and knowing all the politics and the ins and outs, especially with college sports. Like, how do you get something done? How do you, like, when they win, like what money changes hands and what does that do? And so it makes for a lot of like almost political drama on top of, all the sort of like the day-to-day human interaction. So yeah, it's definitely, I think you said it great, that it's a tale of two shows.
I mean, very intense subject matter. Your character is involved with a very intense like storyline right out the gate, like we said. I mean, you worked on a lot of amazing shows in the past. I'm sure the preparation is a little different, the same for a lot of things. But is there anything different about kind of preparing for this role a little bit specifically?
Yeah, I did, Pretty Little Liars years ago, and there was a similar storyline, except it was the characters were different there, and it was more of an affection and a relationship and like an undying bond, and other ways that we sort of gave context to what is ultimately an illegal relationship. Whereas this has a little bit of a different feel, but a lot of it is like Eddie coming to terms with, I think one big difference was that Ezra Fitz from Pretty Little Liars was constantly like, this is wrong, I have to stop. And Eddie doesn't think that he's necessarily done anything wrong. And tries to, in many ways, is almost like a tragic character. And so I think the preparation was different in that, like, the past characters that I played was like, there was more of a push-pull, and I can't, I need to, I don't want to. And whereas this was like, Eddie's like, how is this all happening to me? How did I get to this place? And being almost like a victim himself.
There's a lot. It's a lot. It's packed. Let's just say that. Ian, thank you so much for your time. April 4th on Spectrum. It's premiering Long Slow Exhale. Thank you so much for your time, Ian.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.